Just out of curiosity, why do they bully? What's the point of it? Why do you find joy in taking innocent people and finding a way to be mean to them? It's not okay.
You've probably seen this video of a crying young boy talking to his mom after being bullied at school all over the internet. And look, I avoided this video at all costs for like the first couple days because it was very hard for me to watch it. It may not seem like it, but I was also bullied a lot in high school. Yeah, and I actually found a video of it, so I'm gonna show it to you guys. That's me under all of those kids. And that's me crying right there after they finally let me go. And I'm showing you this video because many of us have a story like Keaton's and have felt like this at some point. As a matter of fact, I've always thought that one of the best things that came about with adulthood is that, you know, you get to grow out of being bullied. Yeah, you have responsibilities now, you gotta pay taxes, but at least no one's mobbing around you at work to call you a fat loser for wanting to draw instead of playing soccer all day. Also, fuck soccer.
But it'll probably get better one day.
So if you're being bullied right now, remember this. Eventually, bullies don't make it. They get stuck in shitty middle manager jobs in their hometowns trying to desperately relive their glory days. Or in some instances, they learn that they don't have to be horrible to other people to avoid their personal problems and eventually change their ways. Now, obviously, this is kind of hard to believe because, you know, this guy.
Yeah, you gotta see this guy. I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
Get that son of a off the field right now.
You know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes. Blood coming out of her wherever.
But look, I'm here to tell you that it gets better. On shitty days, I think about how those who used to make fun of me for being different now follow me on Instagram and lie to people about how we were friends growing up. And despite all of it, I understand where they were coming from. I forgive them. And even though bullying is a cruel but instructive part of life, no one should ever be pushed to a point where they feel like this.
They call me ugly, they say I have no friends.
And I mean no one. Even Keaton's parents, who we've found out are more to the right than the average conservative after their viral video fame. Jones's mother, who shot the video, routinely makes references to the BLM movement, calls black athletes butthurt, and has posted photos of herself holding up a Confederate flag. Now, this is happening in Tennessee, after all, so it's understandable, but the irony here is twofold. One, because those same butthurt athletes are now raising awareness and tons of money for Keaton, specifically $58,000 thus far. But also because Keaton's mother's casual racism is just an example of the narrative those with power have created against the powerless, which is, ironically, what she sought to expose about what's happening to her son at school. Institutional racism is way more complex than this, of course, but for the sake of using Keaton's story as a teachable moment, I'm gonna liken it to bullying. So this is a message to Keaton's mom and other families who feel white grievances all across America.
People that are different don't need to be criticized about it. Because it's not their fault.
Keaton was bullied at school and feels powerless. Ruby Bridges and her family also felt powerless, which is why they welcomed help from the NAACP in 1960 when Ruby became the first black child to enroll at the all-white William Franz Elementary School in New Orleans. Now, she was 6 years old when federal marshals escorted her through those doors every day.
I crossed a picket line, a mob every day for a whole year, screaming, yelling, threatening to harm me.
Ruby's father lost his job. Their family was no longer allowed to shop at their neighborhood grocery store. She had to bring her own food to school because people kept threatening to poison her. Back then, all the white people of New Orleans had to do for Ruby and her family was nothing. Simply let the Bridge family coexist alongside them. The bare minimum. And that's the same request you have for bullies, right? You want them to allow your little boy to go to school peacefully. But that's the ugly history you're supporting when you promote white nationalism. As if life in the South before the Civil Rights Movement was some sort of mythical time when America was truly great. That's the underlying problem behind making America great again. To revert our culture back to a time when it was far from great for women, people of color, and the LGBT community. So despite Keaton's family's faults, I hope we can use the Stand With Keaton movement as a teachable moment for all of us, and potentially promote understanding among those who promote hurtful narratives against marginalized communities. Because if you stand with Keaton, then you should stand with all of those in American society who are unjustly vilified, who are disenfranchised and abused. You should stand for social justice. I'm Hasan Piker. Please share this video with your friends if you think we should end bullying in all forms immediately. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Hasan D. Piker and on Twitter at Hasan the Hun. And this has been The Breakdown.